My dad sacrificed my future for my cousin. My dad paid for my cousin's entire college life, then watched me drop out broke. 3 years later, the same man called me begging for money. I sounded like someone he didn't raise. My mom died giving birth to me, and my dad never got over it. Our house was a museum to her. Her clothes stayed in the closet. Her photos stared at me from every wall. Growing up there felt like living with a ghost and a judge. He did the required parenting: food, clothes, school, but no hugs, no pride, no good job. If he spoke to me, it was usually to compare me to my cousin. My cousin's dad died when he was little, so my dad stepped up for him. My cousin was loud, sporty, charming. I was quiet, bookish, and desperate. Somehow that made me the problem. I still remember being 12 and winning the science fair. I built a moving solar system model and dragged it home like a trophy. My dad was laughing with my cousin about football. I said I won. He barely looked up. Cool, he muttered, and kept talking. In high school, I got better grades, wrote essays teachers loved, did every activity my dad liked. It didn't matter. At one parent-teacher meeting, my English teacher told my dad I could be a writer, and my dad's only question was, is that gonna get him a sports scholarship? Then came college. I got into a university and thought, stupidly, he'd help a little. One night I overheard him on the phone telling my cousin he'd cover everything: tuition, housing. My stomach dropped. I confronted him, shaking. Are you helping me too? He stared at me like I'd asked to borrow his kidneys. I can't pay for both of you, he said. He needs it more. So I worked. Diner shifts, weekends, late nights, scholarships. I ran on cheap coffee and panic. After one semester, I dropped out because I couldn't afford it. Meanwhile, my cousin posted dorm pics, spring break trips, and a brand new laptop my dad bought him. Every post felt like my dad reaching through the screen to remind me who mattered. That's when I left. No goodbye speech. Just a bag, a bus, and silence. I moved to a place where nobody knew my last name. I rented a tiny studio I could barely afford. I cleaned during the day and poured drinks at night until my hands smelled like bleach and cheap beer. I bounced between construction, gas station nights, and more waiting tables. Eventually, I became a manager at a small bookstore and started taking community college classes at night. It wasn't the dream, but it was mine. I made friends who actually showed up, did weekly game nights, and texted back when I said I was struggling. Then last week, my phone rang from a number I didn't recognize. We hadn't spoken in 3 years. It was my dad. Slow motion, like my body remembered before my brain did. First, I heard his breathing, heavy and uneven. Then he said my name, like it tasted unfamiliar. After that, his voice cracked, just a little. Next, he asked if I was doing okay. Then he finally said it. He needed money. Again, he said it, softer, like I'd misheard. And then he waited, like I owed him comfort. I laughed. Not a cute laugh. What about your golden boy? I asked. What about my cousin? Long silence. He's busy, my dad mumbled. He can't help right now. So the kid who needed it more suddenly didn't. My dad tried to pivot into regret. I made mistakes. I want to fix this. No, I said. You didn't forget. You chose. I told him I wasn't bailing him out, and I hung up. I felt guilty for about 5 minutes. Then I remembered being 16, crying after my first heartbreak, and my dad telling me I was blocking the TV. I remembered getting my driver's license and my neighbor teaching me because my dad was too busy in the garage with my cousin. Curiosity got me later. I called around and pieced it together. My dad didn't just pay for college. He bought my cousin a car, helped with a house down payment, and dumped money into a startup idea. He maxed credit cards. He took loans. He even remortgaged the house. The startup flopped, and my cousin suddenly had no means to repay anything while still driving something flashy. I texted my dad once, not to gloat, just to make sure he understood the math of his choices. He sent back a long apology, said grief made him cruel, said my mom would be proud of me, asked to meet. I told him I wasn't ready, and I meant it. Words don't refund a degree. They don't give me back the years I spent proving I could survive without him. So I'm staying where I am, building my life, taking my classes, showing up for the people who show up for me. My dad can sit with his debt, his regrets, and the son he bet everything on. What would you do if you were me? Drop your honest take below.